Hello and welcome to this week's vlog. I'm a day early this week, it's Thursday, I've got the day off work. So I've come down to the plot. I've got a good 6 hours to see what I can get done. I want to get the climbing French beans and the runner beans in, so I'm going to have to put the trellis up for those. And you also need to get the embankment trimmed and mowed because it's getting a little bit overgrown and a bit unsightly. And then after that I'll see how much time I've got left to do some other things. So let's waste no more time and get cracking. As you can see, the embankment is completely overgrown. I've done a small section of it the other day, but the strimmer ran out of petrol. So I'm just going to finish that little bit off and I'm going to tackle this. I reckon it'll probably take me about an hour or so. I want to get done because it looks like it's going to rain at some point today. So I'll start with that job. I'm going to sort the paths out and get the place looking nice and tidy. That took a lot longer than I thought it would, but managed to get it all done up to the top, and now I can see my comfrey. I'm going to chop that down, make some more comfrey tea, and what's left over can go in the compost bin. Now the embankment has been trimmed and that's all finished, I'm going to make a start on the bean bed. It's the last bed to be uncovered, so I'm just going to dig out the mare's tail to start with, level it off a bit, and then I'm going to get the canes in to form the structure to grow the beans up. That's the bean frame constructed. I'm going to put 10 across the back. I might put 4 across here, and I've got some room in there. I might put some carrots or something in just to fill up the space. I've got rid of most of the mare's tail. I'm sure it'll come back. Yeah, it's a pretty strong structure, strong enough for what we need. Obviously it's not going to be as strong as that, but it'll do for now. If I've got time I might see if I can get some of the beans in and just have a look what time it is, and if I don't get it done today I'll get it done tomorrow. Hello there, it's Friday afternoon, about 4 o'clock. I've just popped down to the plots. I've not got a lot of time today, so my plan is to get the beans in. I've got the runner beans and the climbing French beans. Right, so I'm going to put the runner beans in this bed. Got some good germination on them, but some of them have been growing downhill. That one was completely turned over on itself, so I'm going to leave that one out, and I'm just going to plant them as they come out the root trainers just behind the cane. So I'm just going to sink a hole in there, a little bit of the 6X in the bottom, give it a jiggle around, pop the plant in, fill the hole and firm it down. And there we go. I'll just repeat that process all the way along the row, and then we'll do the climbing French beans. I've managed to get 2 per station on all but one of the stations, so hopefully I should have spares. If anything happens to one, there's a chance that one of the other ones should hopefully survive. So I've given them all a good watering in. So I'm going to move on to the other bed and do the climbing French beans. I've got more of those, So I'll definitely be putting 2 per station. That's 2 beds planted up. Got the climbing French beans along here and the runner beans in the far bed. So that's going to do it for today. I'm just going to tidy up a little bit, put everything away and call it a day. Wow, what a difference a day makes. I got up this morning, absolutely pouring down with rain. It's a little bit cold, wet and miserable today. And I've come down to the plot. I've just got no motivation to do anything really. I suppose I'll potter around for a little bit and some jobs will appear. I do want to move some of the compost bins from around the apple tree and get some flowers in to that little bed there. And then after that, I'm not sure what I'll be doing. Hopefully the weather will pick up and the sun will make an appearance and then we can get some stuff done. But at the moment, motivation is a little bit lacking. This fella here, just having a little bit of breakfast. I'll move him along in a second. But this is a bed I want to sort out. I've got some calendula that's starting to come through, as well as some bindweed. So I'm going to shift this second garlic. No idea where I'm going to put it. Got absolutely no space for anything at the moment. Get these weeds out, tidy this area up a little bit and get some flowers in. I've got some in here amongst all the weeds, so when it dries out a little bit, I'll give this area a good weeding over. And then if I can just get this little section done today, I should be happy. Now I've tidied up the 2 flower beds. Hope you can hear me over the wind. Got all the weeds out of there. I'll move the 2 Daleks. I've got some of the flowers in there. These ones have flopped over a little bit, but I'm sure in a day or 2 they'll pick up. And what I want to try and do is with the apple tree, is pull this here, sort of hold it at this angle, same on the other side. Just got to find something to support it. This is the overwintered onion bed. Some of them are a reasonable size. Got some nice red onions in there, just 1 or 2. But a lot of them are starting to go to seed now, as you can see, and they're flopping over, which is an indication that they're ready. But these are probably the best onions that I've grown so far. Happy with that crop of onions, some really nice onions there. I'm just going to leave them for an hour in the sunshine. Got a leek as well. These 2, I've got no scapes on or anything. They're still growing, so I'm not going to disturb them. I'm going to leave them in. They're probably the 2 biggest, 1 red, 1 white. So I'll give them another week. Let's have a look in here. I think these are probably ready to go as well. They're all starting to fall over. So while I'm doing this, I might as well just do these. Let's see what I can get out of them. There we have it. That's the overwintered onions, all taken out. I've just had a quick count, and there's over 70 onions there, of various different sizes. The majority of them are similar sort of size, just smaller than a tennis ball, which are ideal for cooking. So as I said, I'm just going to leave those 2 in to see how they get on. And I'll just show you what I'm doing here. Taking all the onions out of here. The soil's quite compacted, and as you can see, it's sunk down a fair bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the compost, out of these two smaller bays here. I'm going to top up these three somewhere near the top, and then I'm going to put some parsnips in, and hopefully I should get reasonable germination. They've not really done very well anywhere else in the garden, so hopefully I can put them in there. I can put a cover over the top to keep them moist and warm so they germinate. So what I'm doing now is just digging this out, getting all the lumps out, and filling the other two up. I don't want to take any chances, so this is a brand new packet of seeds that I bought yesterday. Got all the beds ready. I'm just going to sow 3 lines along each bed, and then I'm going to sieve some compost on top. And then if they don't germinate, I don't think I'm ever going to get any this year. Right, so I'll just get the seeds sown and sieved over, and I'll show you when I'm done. Probably not the best thing to do on a windy day. I'll just lift the cover up. I put this on because the wind was blowing the seeds all over the place. So as you can see, 3 rows. I've used a full packet of seeds, so hopefully I should get some germination. I'm just going to sieve the compost now to put on top. And there we go. Each of the tubs has got 3 rows in, so hopefully I should get at least a few parsnips out there. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to dig them over the fork. I'm going to put some of my compost in, mix it up, and then I've got some beetroot that are in pots at the moment. I'm just going to plant them into here, and then that should help me empty out the polytunnel a little bit more. That's those 2 small beds topped up with my homemade compost. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the sieved compost on top, and I'm going to get the beetroot planted in and give it a good watering. Should be enough space to get all those in, and that'll be my beetroot for the year. Don't need a huge amount. There's a few little bits in this bed, but they're slowly getting eaten to death, so I might put a beer trap down for them. And then if I've got time today, carrot bed is looking a bit sparse, so I'm just going to put a few more carrot seeds in there, give that a good watering as well. Good morning, it's Sunday the 9th of June. It's another chilly start, grey and overcast, but hopefully it'll pick up in a little while. And today is the Allotment Society AGM. It'll be kicking off in about an hour, and should be interested to see what happens, because there's been a lot of complaints amongst the plot holders, as I'm sure there are on lots of allotments all up and down the country, of people's plots not being up to scratch. There's lots of them that I've seen people once, maybe twice this year. The plots are overgrown. Some of the grass is sort of 5 or 6 feet tall, weeds everywhere, weed seeds blown all over the place. So that's going to be one point that I'm going to raise, and hopefully something gets done about it. But enough moaning, let's get on with some gardening. These are the beetroot that I put in the planter. I forgot to film it yesterday. I started chatting with some of the other plot holders, and forgot all about it. So just a quick recap. And then what was left over, I've just put in this bed along here. And finally, I've noticed that some of my carrots in the planter are starting to go to seed. I've pulled 2 out, and they were just sort of like, I'll show you actually, they're like pencil thick. They're nice and straight, but you can see the flower heads there already. So I'm not sure what causes that or what I can do to stop it, if there is anything. But if anyone knows, just leave me a comment and let me know. And in the polytunnel, I just very quickly, yesterday evening when I came down to do my watering, just put all the onions in here just in case it rained overnight. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the garlic out of the drying rack, and I'm going to put the onions in. Then I'm going to process the garlic take it home and hang it in the garage because it does well in there. Polytunnel's a little bit of a mess, but this is all the ends of the onions. And there was one here that's got a little bit of white rot on it. It's the only one out of all of them. So I'm just going to put that on the incineration pile. Just finished the committee meeting. Everything went well. And I'm just tidying up now. So this is what we've managed to do so far. These are the red onions that didn't quite bulb up. So I'm just going to use them, take them home for immediate use in cooking, use them as large spring onions really. It's the garlic all tidied up, and there are the onions that I'm going to leave to dry. I've got a cover over the top. I've put a piece of plastic at the side to keep the weather off them, so they should dry out nicely for next week, and then I can hang them in the garage. Polytunnel is a complete mess. So I'm just going to get this tidied out, and then I'm going to sow the Cavallinero. So the next job is to sow the purple sprouting broccoli and the Romanesco cauliflower, and then I'm heading off home. That's the Romanesco cauliflower and the early purple sprouting broccoli, both sown. So I've just popped them into the greenhouse for germination. I've just noticed I'm starting to get a few tomatoes appearing. You can see them there. There you go. There's a couple on there and a couple on the plant behind. So hopefully they'll ripen up, fatten up. So I'm going to start feeding them now. I'll feed them twice a week. So that's all I've got time for this week. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching, and if you've made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing, and I shall see you all again next week. Thank you very much, and goodbye.